Okay, hello everyone. This is day 5 of Data Science Bootcamp. Today we will be continuing with the Pandas lecture and we will try to cover up some topics on visualization. It could be Matplotlib and Seaborn. So I'll start with sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So in the last lecture, what we did, we came across various Pandas function that helped us in loading the data and selecting it and filtering it. There were certain queries and functions that we went through. In this lecture, what we will go through, we'll go through cleaning and pre-processing. So, as mentioned earlier, let's say if there are certain data which are need to be processed, we have to make sure that the data is clean. You know, I'll go by with an example. Let's say when you scroll down, okay, oh yeah, we have a data which is a CSV data. There is a read CSV function which we saw in the last lecture. And when we import it, then we see there were certain values which are empty. Let's say we have run a logic which uses name as primary key. Then either name which has NaN that could be overwritten or it could cause some error. So we have to make sure that all the data that we have either rows in either rows and columns location, it should be in a way that it should not hinder our application. The analysis that we'll do, the data that will bring out, the data that will make sense will not start making sense if we are not taking care of this. Okay, so there are certain functions that we'll go through it today. So the first one is, I mean, you guys are already familiar that we can read CSV. So, right? Any questions regarding previous lecture regarding selections and filtering? I don't think Krish and Nishanti both were available in that lecture. Anything
Yesterday,
you want me to quickly go through it?
talking about
It's fine.
yesterday or last, um,
Last lecture, yesterday we did not have the lecture.
I was there last
In the
Saturday.
previous lecture, oh, nice. Okay, okay, cool, cool, my bad. Cool. So I'll go ahead. Then we have data frame. Then there is a function which is isNull. So what it does is the places in which the values are there, it will just put like if it is null. If it is null, then it is false. If it is if it is not null, then it is false. And if it is null, it is set to true. As you can see, first index of first of age is NaN, and it is a null value which is set to true. So this will quickly give an overview in which place the null is. And the other important function is null.sum. Now, when you run it, you would be able to see that there are total one value in the name column, name column, where the value is null. In the age, the value is in city, there is no null value. In the joint date, there is one null value. Okay. Then we come across drop n. Okay. Let's go to the documentation and understand what exactly is drop n. As we missing data, we do is df is null, then the sum, then we see drop n. So we drop the rows with any missing value. Okay, now let's see if the logic is correct. So this is the column, these are the row. Charlie row is something, it has a null value. Then again, Charlie has a null value. Or is the data, this is a duplicate data. Okay, then there is another value in 5, which is the Eve domain, it has null value. Now when we do drop null value, so you see all the values which has dropped, which has null value, all the value in the data frame, which has null value, are dropped. So that is where we use it. And let's say we want to drop the column. You set the axis is equal to 0. We went through the what axis is in the previous lecture. Okay. And if you want to drop the columns, which has null value, then use axis is equal to 1. Got it. Certain functions are pretty self-explanatory. Then there is fillna, which you can assume that it is either if there are empty value, then it will fill with whatever value we provide. So other function is, as you can see, is fill missing data. In Pandas, fill n is used to fill unknown values. Ffill and bfill are method used to fill values like nan, non, or period, whatever are the value. Okay, if you see df.fill na, if you set it to 0, all the nn value will be replaced to 0. Got it? Got it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have df.age fill na. If you want to replace it with the mean, then you replace. This is how you fill it. Then f forward fill and backward fill, which is something we'll check by example. Let me scroll down. Okay, guys, if there's no network issue, can you guys turn on the camera?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool, right? Okay. Thanks, Nishan. And thanks, Devesh.
I haven't taken the bath, so I guess
That's fine. We know how you look. I don't think nothing will change after that. To take a bath.
just walk out.
Yeah, you're looking the same. Cool. Okay, we are replacing. Then we have forward fill, method forward fill. Let's check in the documentation of what is forward fill. Okay, fill NA, method forward fill. Okay. Fill NA with methods deprecated will raise in a future version. Fill and bfill instead. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, so what I have is a deprecated method. So let's check. Okay. Fill, bfill, and Pandas. Then we have forward fill and backward fill. I'll share this link where it is helpful for you guys. Okay, let's not go through all of it. Okay. The forward fill method fills the missing value with the last value, valid value before that missing value. Okay. So there is a series, then there is an np.nan, then there is 4. Okay. Now we do a forward fill. How does it happen? Let's say 1, 3, 3, 4. So whatever was the value, if it was 3, which was the last correct value, it will fill it with 3. Got it? So here, as you can see, 3 was there, which was a valid value, then it will fill it with 3. Okay. And similarly, is a simple example of forward fill can be also used in a method, which is method forward fill. You fill NA with the method forwarder. Now, when that happens, 1A, that is NA and B of 5, and when you do a fill NA with forward fill, let's say what is the output? Here, the result of the above code 1AA B5. Again, same. The value is same. A was a valid value and it got replaced by N and got replaced by A. Now we will do it with an example. Whatever, so forward will understand whatever was the last valid value that will be used to fill the NaN value null values. Okay, then we have backward fill. Okay, so instead of backward fill method fills the missing value with the first value that comes after the missing value data sequence. So as you can see here, it is after A, it is A, so it should be filled by B. So in backward fill, whatever is the first backward value, whatever is the ahead backward value, that is taken and that is put to the valid value. So when you think of it like this, the forward fill is sort of like goes behind and check like whatever is the valid value. Let's say you are coming and you see NaN value, then it replaces it. Whereas backward fill, whatever is the front value, it may sound counterintuitive, but that is how forward will, because you are filling the forward element with the backward valid value. You are filling the backward element with a forward valid value. Got it? So let's test it by example. Okay, it's already forward filled. So as you can see, uh, what we'll do, see somewhere it was, I think we have to go back and check where it was the null value. Okay, we went through a lot of computations. When you drop the columns, okay, fill the empty value with zeros. Then you fill it with mean. Okay, this is deprecated, and this is so is this. Then you do a forward fill. As you can see, Charlie is the empty value. Where was the empty value? As you can see, 0. Okay. Fill.na, they are filled with 0. Think the data got manipulated. Yeah, okay. This will give you a good picture. As you see, 25 is NaN and it got filled with 25 because it was forward filled. Whatever the value was available, it filled the forward value with it. And similarly, if you use backward fill, I think let's use a backward fill here. Okay. We have df. Oh my bad. We have df dot. Okay, NaN. So this should be filled by 30. See, it got filled by 30. Got it? Any question, do let me know. Then we have duplicated. Okay. Now this value, as it is totally understandable, like how many values are duplicated. As you see, 0th index, Alice, and all this column, is it duplicated? 0, 1, 25, New York, app, Alice at example.com. So yeah, there are certain duplicates. Now if you see, first one is unique. As you can see, 0 is unique. It will always be unique. Then the second one, Charlie, it's also unique. It's also unique. When you see the first one which got duplicated, third number, you will see on the previous value where it was duplicated. So you see Charlie was duplicated from the first value. Get it? Similarly, you will get all the duplicated value. Okay, 7, 8, 9, all were duplicated. And this is very self-explanatory. If it is drop duplicates, it will drop all the duplicates. Okay. Cool. Now, if you want to duplicate from a certain subset, again, these are a lot of Python functions, NumPy function, my bad, NumPy function and Pandas function are very self-explanatory. Let's say df dot duplicated with a subset of name and age, then it will show you like where on the name and age they are duplicated. As you can see, maybe 3, 7, 6, 7, 8, the age would be somewhere it would be duplicated. Okay. 3 is male, already male got duplicated. Okay. Uh, 3, 4, okay, duplicated subset on name and age. Okay, if we run this, okay, again, 3, 6, 7, 8. Name and age. Okay, this two column has to be, if they are duplicated, then it will check. Again, same, one column was Charlie and M. So the third column would be Charlie and M. Cool. Okay, and again, these are certain functions. Like if you want to lower the string, if you want to do a lowercase for all the column in the data frame, this is how you do it. And as you can see, the DF will not get manipulated directly. You have to either reassign to it and then perform the operation. Okay. Let me check. If there are too many things, then we will go ahead. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let's keep it till here, and till then maybe you can just copy it, edit, mm, clear output of all cells. Okay. Get started from this. I have shared the CSV. You can utilize it. Once it is done, do let. Cool. Any question in between, also let.
Can you scroll? Or it's over.
Oh, sorry. Is it over for Nishant and Devish as well?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Cool. Let's start with the string manipulation then.
Yeah.
As you can see, done, right? Krish, Devesh, Nishant.
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. So
Uh,
these are,
if backward field, if there is no such value in the last row,
Mhm.
how it will feel?
Come again? Okay, let's do it. Then there is a problem
Uh,
with
in our file, there is no data in last row. C, A,
mhm.
Charlie. Then how it will be filled up with the forward field?
It does not get filled. It remains empty. Cool. Let's get started with string manipulation. Again, pretty self-explanatory. It is selecting a column. We want to do a string operation, and it want to do a lowercase for all the values in the column, all the rows in the column, and the values is always. See, you have to understand when you run this function and all that does not manipulate the query. Sometimes it happens. When I initially started, I would run this function. I was expect the data frame to sort of change it, and it did take some time for me. When I say sometime, it's a day or two. And here, as you can see, Alice, Charlie, Bob, and Duff did not change. In order to change it, you have to reassign it. Df is equal to df a graph name. Get it? Then it will work. Like same function, if you reassign it, then it will work. Okay, we'll take a look at it later. Again, also certain functions that you can see is, let's say, if there's a city with a string and it contains Delhi, then you have to check that it should be case insensitive. It is not case sensitive. Let's say if it is capital D also, it should work. As you can see, what I'll do, print a df for privacy, for visibility, my bad. And as you can see, Delhi is a capital D. But what we are doing, Delhi, case sensitive, false. If we do true, the value would be false for everybody. True. See, false, because capital D, small d does not exist. So these are the functions that you have to keep in mind. No need to learn the syntax. Just remember that these are the functions which are available. There must be some function. Okay. Now, if we see what we are doing, there's a data frame. Data frame is made up of series. As we have, as we went through the previous lecture, a series is a 1D array, whereas a data frame is a 2D array. And data frame is a collection of series. That is how all the datas are saved, be it CSV or any other database. It's saved in a 2D format. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is a Panda series, and hence the type of it is panda core.series.series. Okay. Now, what we are doing a split on this. Okay. So as you can see, it's an email address. It did a split on @. So we have the username, not username specifically, but username and the domain. Get it? Similarly, what we want to do, we want to check the type. The type of this is a list. Okay. Because what we are returning an array and hence the list. You're getting it, right? Okay. Coming to the other part, okay, just printed it. No problem with that. Then we are creating a copy. What we are doing, there's a data frame. We are dropping all the not assigned value or all the null value, and we are copying it and putting it to df2. So when you're copying it, then there is no reference left to df2 and df. If you don't copy it, there will be a reference left. Okay. Now what we are doing, now let's print df2 for, we already know what it will be. But let's just print it. All the values that has null in either of the rows got deleted. Okay. Now what we're doing, again, as I mentioned, that you have to reassign it so that you know. See, df is probably it is of type string. Let's again check. Okay. type df of age. What type is it? It is a series type. Okay. Now, what we are doing it, it's a float type. My bad. So the column is a series type, but the value is a float type. Get it? And as you can see, we want to turn it to integer type. There could be certain operations, and we want to turn it to integer type. And when we do it, we get now as you can see, it was decimal value. Now all of them are int. So probably they'll also get converted. Like so somewhere if the date is 24.67, we convert it to 25. You check on info, then you will see, okay, non-null value, we had 5 value. Okay, it's a type integer. These are important function, info, describe. Okay, let's run describe as well. Uh, okay, describe the mean. Info is a very important function in my opinion. This maybe you'll get used to it a lot. You have to get used to it. Okay, again data frame and df.to. So what we did, we removed all the null values. We converted the age from float to an integer. Cool. Now here, as you can see, what we are doing, it's a function. So very simple function. It returns adult if age is greater than 25, else minor. Cool. And now what we want to do, we want to apply this on a particular column. So we are creating a new column, which is age group. And on the age column, we are applying is minor. So in the age group, the value would be adult if in the age, the value is greater than 25. Get it? So let's run it. And let's check df2. There is a new column, age group. And what we are doing, when you want to, this is a very, very, very important function, apply. Remember it. Like apply is a very important function. If you want to do an operation on a new column based on the operations available in a column, then this is the function that you have to use. First, this is df, then you have to you want to apply a function, either define a function or directly pass a lambda function. Lambda function is something we did on day one and understanding when we were doing it just with pure Python. Okay, school, any doubt, anything here? Because this is very important. This is something we will be using extensively. No, right?
No.
Okay. Similarly, as you can see, there is a map which is M is male, F is female, and O is other. Again, what we are doing, we are running a map function. So in order to run a map function, it mostly requires a dictionary. This is again a very important function. So in the already existing column, we want to map a certain value to a certain value. There, as you can see, M was written, F was written, and O is probably not present right now. But wherever there was M, it was changed to male. Wherever there was F, it was changed to female. So you want to do a manipulation in this way using a dictionary. Map is something how you should be doing it. Got it? And then we have replace. Okay, there is a column. In this column, we want to perform a replace operation where Delhi is changed to New Delhi and Mumbai is changed to New Mumbai. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, if you see, Delhi will be replaced with New Delhi and Mumbai will be replaced to New Mumbai. There's no Delhi. There was no Delhi. I think Delhi rows got deleted because there were none. But as you can see, Mumbai got changed to New Mumbai. Cool. See, replace, map, apply. These are important functions need to be understand. Map is somewhere. Sometimes it does happen. The certain values in a column may not be making sense, and you want to change it to your convenience so that you can later analyze and show it to your PM or product manager or clients or whatever, whoever is asking for the data. So these are the important functions to work on. Cool. We have finished till now. We left at columns, right? Hmm. Okay, cool.
Mm,
Cool. So what I'll do, I'll just clear output of all cells, and this is from where you get started. Cool. Let me know when it is done.
Can you scroll down?
Devesh, you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Devesh, is there a problem with your camera? You better if you could turn it on. Thanks. Let me know when done. Okay, Nishant, Krish. Done, right? Krish? Done. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Before moving forward, I'll introduce you guys to a platform. Are you guys familiar with Kaggle?
Yes, it's a platform where we find the raw data or we get the CSV files.
Yes, it does run a lot of competitions as well. So what we are going to do, I think whatever we have practiced till now, we will download a data and then we will work on it. I'll be sharing my screen and you guys would be helping me to understand what we have to do. So, okay, let's go through the data and it is called data.csv. Okay, I'll create a Python file. Okay, let's name it practice test. See, the key to master anything is practice. So even just attending bootcamp will not help you. Even during weekdays, if you spend 10, 20, 15 minutes, that will help you master what you're doing. Okay, now help me. How do I import pandas? Anybody? Import, sorry, import pandas as PD. We do it as PD so that we don't have to type pandas again and again. Now, whatever file we have, that is a CSV file. How do I import it?
Read
PD dot
CSV.
Yes, we have to assign it to a data frame, df, then pd dot read
Read CSV.
CSV. Yeah, one of the important function is you can use tab function to get all the details which are available. Okay, and it is data.csv. Uh, okay, I created it somewhere. So, give me a minute. What I'll do, I'll create it here. Practice test. Okay, import pandas as pd. Okay, we have a data frame. We do pd dot read CSV and it is data.csv. Cool. Let's see the data frame. Okay. As you can see, there are a lot of data frame. Now there are certain problem with the data frame. Let's identify one by one. First, before doing anything, we'll run an info. See, this Python data frame has 32 entries. There are these many columns. Okay. Out of it, there's a float, there's an integer, there's an object, or data type is an object. It's probably a string when it is defined as object, which should not be the data type. Then there's the pulse and max pulse. Now, what are these? Okay, df dot head. I don't want to print all of it. I want to print the first 5 element. As you can, there's a duration. I actually, okay. So what from this data, we have to make sense as an engineer. These are this is a date. What I'm understanding, probably they ran for 60 minutes, everybody. And considering the weight, this many calories they lost, and their heartbeat pulse was 110, the average, and the maximum pulse was 130. I had no other detail. I myself making sense of the data. Now, as a data scientist, we have to understand like what are the first step. We loaded the data. We saw what sense it is making. Now, what we will do, we will clean the data as you can see. Now, what was the function to check if there was any null value or not? Nishant, if you can go.
Is null.
Df dot is null. Okay. Uh, okay. I think sum is a better way to do it. So as you can see, there are null values in data, there are null values in calories. Now, how do you want to fix it? Do you want to drop it or do you want to put an average? What would be the better way? Like we ourselves have to think. Should we drop it
It would be better to fill with mean value.
Average.
with an average? Okay. And how do we fill it? Df dot. Okay, we have to reassign it. We'll do a df2. Df dot fill na with
df of
Df
calories.
fill na. Sorry, come again.
df of
Mhm.
calories dot mean.
Nice. Calories dot mean. Cool. df2. As you can see, the data that we feel okay. Now, I think there's a way we have to check it. It's cool. Let's go with an assumption that the empty values are filled with calories. Now, if we df dot to is null dot sum, okay, then there are no null values. Okay, date also got filled. How come? Oh, see, that's the mistake that we did. Okay, it has to be df dot calories. Okay, what we'll do? We got it. Date also got filled with calories. Okay, let's see which one. Somewhere, see, line number 22, it got filled with calories, the average calories. Okay, so how do we fix it? We select the calories and only fill the calories with the mean. And you do df2. And df. What is the problem here? That's df. And we do a df2 and we are just getting calories. Okay, so there is a problem. Yes. Anybody, how can we fix it?
All the column are replaced by the only one column. It doesn't perform the operation on a specific column. We
Okay.
perform the operation on the whole table. Like df2 is the whole table.
Yes, correct, correct. So what we are going to do, okay, if we just do this, the output is a series, okay, and the series gets replaced. So what exactly we have to do? We have to do, we first do df2, okay, okay, let's again do it. df2 is equal to df1 dot, okay, what we did an info, we did a head, and is null, df1 dot, let's do a copy. Oh, there's no df1. Okay, then we have df2. Okay, what we have to do, we select a df2 of column, oh sorry, calories, get it, and then we do df2 dot df2 of calories. Cool. Are we going on the right track?
Yes.
Okay. Fill NA. What we want to fill it with? Calories. Okay. Mean of all calories. Got it. Now if you do df2, now we have it. Check the calories, only calories got updated, but date is still NaN. What we'll do, we will fill it with random date. Okay, now df2 of date is equal to df2 of date. It is taking string, right? df2 of dot fill na. What we'll do, we'll fill it with today's date. Because it is taking string, we will fill string. Okay, 2020. Some random date I'm filling. Okay, 0, 12, and 10. Okay, we cleaned our data to an extent. We have dates and everything. Cool. Now what we want to do, as you can see, the type is object. It has to be string. Okay, let's convert that. Type of date, type of date, type of df2 of date. It is a series, but I mean, info is a better way to check it. But we'll do a column. So it is of type string, and we want to change it to type date. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll do a change string type to date type in Pandas. Okay, we know there is a function that is used to change it to a date time function. So there is a Pandas data frame which changes it to date time. Okay, as you can see, we got it here pd dot to date time. Then we have to pass the column and practice test tf dot date type tf2 dot date. What was it? What was it?
Time
df2 dot
to
to.
make time.
Hey, where is it? When I forgot it. It's to underscore date time. But hey, where is df? Sorry. You just select the column. Oh no, it's pd. See, pd. It is a pandas function. It is not a data frame function. Pd dot to date time. Then you pass the column name df2 of date. What is the format? Okay, format. We have to also pass format. It does not match this at the position. You might want to try. Okay, 2010. I think the date that we passed, that only did not match the format. Oh, okay, that was year. 2010. Into, let me check. DF2. Oh, it did not go as. See, while we were doing data transformation, data conversion, now we realize there are datas which looks like this. Okay, so this is a wrong format. This has to be changed. This data that we passed that did not work. This has to be changed. Okay, so just giving an idea. So while you're working with it, you will have to think of operations like how you're going to fix it, how you're not going to fix it. How are we going to fix it? Any idea, like from what we have learned? This particular format, how are we going to fix it? Should we use apply? Should we use reduce? Should we use map? Should we replace it? Is there any logic?
We can make a function like
That's one way to do it. Is there any other way, or should we just go ahead and make a function and then use it?
that takes the format of the date, something like
Okay. Okay, cool. Does anybody want to help me with it? Okay, I'll go ahead and write an apply function. It takes a lambda, it takes an x, and what should be the logic? What should be the logic? Should I split it? Should I check for this in x? Like what? In x, return x. Okay, I think that should be a good logic. Okay. If in x, return x, else what we'll do, we'll just return our date 220. It's not an ideal way to do it, but for the sake of simplicity, we'll go ahead and do this. Will this work? And did it work? What? Oh, come on. Again, not select the data frame. Okay. But we does not even have a copy, so we'll just run it. That's the beauty of Python. So, sorry, IPython. Hey, when I'm making mistake, tell me I'm making mistake. Again, we ran it. This did not run because there were certain problems. When we do a df2, this is what we get, and we see there are certain values which are causing problem. Okay. An easier way would have been directly put a replace, but what we are doing, df2, we want to apply it on which column? Date.
Date.
Does it have to be reassigned? Let's first check it. It's an apply function. Does it even have to be reassigned? df dot apply date. Let's check. Did it work? See, it was column number. What was the column? 26. 26. Yeah, it did work, but it did not reassign. So yes, definitely we have to reassign df2 of date. Do trial and error methods. More mistakes you make here, less mistakes you'll make in production. And that's where it all matters. Okay. Again, there is a problem. So what we are sharing is this, but it is not going as this format. So let's check df dot info. Okay. It's of type object. Most values of type object. Now I want to check type of 20. These are the values that we have assigned. Type of, see, use like how I am thinking, like how I'm trying to cleaning the data, because that is going to be very useful. Type, then I want to check, because the type is getting object, I'll check the 26th element, what the type is. What is the problem here?
df of, like, we have to pass column, I guess.
Again, no. df of 26 column. Yes, you are right. df of column. And what is the column name? It is date. And it is of type string 26. But let's check 28. Is also of type string. There is still a mismatch. As you can see, there is a mismatch. So let's go ahead and check if we still can perform the operation. df2, this thing. Okay, let's try to convert the date. df2 of date is equal to, let's first try to convert it. td dot to date time, and I want to convert just this. Again, it's a value error. What is the error again? See, percentage position doesn't want to try, and where exactly is it is happening? Where exactly is it happening? You might want to use df first alongside with this. Okay. It's not in this format. I get it. I get it now where the problem is. What we are going to do? We are going to find for this port. Is also being passed. This port. Okay. If it is present in X, you return it. If it is not present in X, then it is present in X. You want to return it as it is. And if it is not present in X, what you have to do? You will return an F string. Okay, where it will be X and they will be inside this single quote. See, what I am right now doing, I am writing, replacing a function in itself. But when you work on it, you write all the functions separately. You have to write code in a way that others also understand. Where did it go? Yeah, dft. Okay. Now, as you can see, the value has changed. All the values are similar. So there was an extra exclamation mark. Now, I don't know, like if as a part of our pre-cleaning process, do we have to remove it or not? Okay. Again, df2, sorry, pd dot to date time, and it has to be df2 of date. My bad. Double quotes and write the bracket. Oh, yeah. Okay, now it got changed. There's problem with the format. So df2 of date and we do a df2. Now, as you see, the format has changed. We do a df2.info. Okay. Now the type is date time 64, which is a type to show date. Get it? Now I want to show, okay, this is a date format ddmmyy. Okay. Let's now go ahead forward, or let's not go too much depth in it. We have cleaned the data to an extent. I think we have cleaned the data, right? We have duration, we have date, we have pulse. That was empty array that we have replaced. We replaced the empty arrays with the mean of calorie. Then while in the date, it was also getting replaced with calories. Then we also transform the date as well. Okay. I'll share the data. Practice on your own. I'll share the notebook as well. Just give me a second. Practice. I'll share it over WhatsApp. Yeah, one more thing. When you are using Kaggle, you can directly import the data. You want to download and use it. I just download it so that you can use the CSV. See. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Here it is, right? You can directly import from Kaggle and you can use it. Okay, you don't have to explicitly download it and store it in a system. So I'll share this as well. Just because I wanted to use a CSV, that's why I did it. This is the data set and then document practice test, right? Was there any doubt anywhere? No, right? Okay. Cool. Let's go ahead with data transformation. Okay. This is data transformation. We'll go to the documentation later. Let's just, okay, let's skim through it first. These are certain functions that are very useful. Let's say if you want to sort a data frame over a certain column, then this is how you do it. You df.sort values. Yeah, df.sort values by age with an assumption that there's a column called age. If you want to do it in a descending order, then you do it in age. Ascending is equal to false. Ascending is a parameter. And if you want to do it on multiple column, then you pass multiple values. Just give me a minute. I'll have some more. Cool. Going forward, okay. Again, imported CSV. We imported a data. It has a data frame. This is how the data frame looks like. Now, as you can see, okay, I have to give the data as well. Just give me a minute. We already have this data. Okay. It's cool. This data is already there with you. Maybe if not, just check on the WhatsApp. And this is, as you can see, now this is not sorted. Now I want to sort it through year. Then df sort values is the function to do it. As you can see, it will sort by year: 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. Then we have sort values. And ascending is equal to false. You run it, and it is now in descending format, like the latest one at the top. Okay. Now what we are doing, we are copying df2. Okay, sort by value by year and IMDb, and we are copying it. Okay, df.2, then okay, year and IMDb. Okay, year IMDb, the max, it is at the top. Then 2017 6.0, it is at the top. Okay, so if you want to sort on two columns, that is how you do it. Okay, cool. Then there is an important function which is rank. Okay, df.rank, then it is IMDb, it is ranked. So it usually sort of gives you rank, like what is the rank of the certain values. Dense is provided. Let's say whenever in exam or somewhere, if two students score same mark, then they are given the same rank, and the other rank is skipped. Okay, that is what dense do. If you don't give the dense parameter, it will be given 1, 1.52. That is how it will go ahead. So get it. Okay, so dense is a better parameter to perform. Okay, here is the rank because why? Okay, it is IMDb. I'm giving rank on IMDb with an ascending of false. So with the highest IMDb, we'll have the highest rank. As you can see, IMDb 8.4 has rank 1. Get it? Cool. Look at it again. While you're typing it, also visualize it in your head. Okay. Now I don't want all the functions. Sorry, all the columns. I only want few columns. So this is how you pass on to it. You pass an array of columns that is required, and then you have it. So what columns am I skipping? I'm skipping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, rank is being skipped. Okay, got it. Okay, this is the thing. Let's go to the documentation. Again, we went through this thing. Okay, if you want, okay, reset index is something. If you want to, like, you're resetting the index and whatever the previous value is set to drop to in place to, let's run it. You want to, okay. Sometimes what happens, let's say if you are removing certain rows from a data frame, then they get deleted and the index get changed. Now, when you use reset index, all the index will be reset to 0. So we'll go through it while we are at it, but let's skip this one now. Then we have df.sort index. Usually is a function to store data frame based on its index value. If the index is not in sequential order, you have dropped or performed few other operations that change the index. You can use sort index to restore it to a sorted order. Got it? Then we have rank. The rank function is pandas is used to assign ranks to numeric values in column like scores or points. By default, it gives the average rank to tied values, which can be result in decimal number. For example, if two people share the top score, they both get a rank of 1.5. You can customize the ranking behavior using method parameter. One useful option is dense, which assigns the same rank ties but does not leave gaps in the ranking sequence. Okay. This is helpful when you want to clean consecutive ranking system without skips. Cool. Okay. Okay. Then we have rename. There is a data frame. I want to rename the column. I want to rename the column with an old name to the new name, and whatever is in place history, then you replace it. When in place is set to true, you replace it. Again, whatever is the index, I want to name it to row 1 and row 2. In place is equal to replace it. Okay. To rename all columns, then this is how you do it. df.columns, all the columns get replaced. Okay. We'll check on it. We'll do a few problems on that as well. If you want to change column order, this is how you do it. Okay. You can also move one column to the front, but this usually is not what we do. Let's say there are certain columns you want to push it forward. What we are doing, there's an array of column, and then we are putting it back. And if column is not equal to name, and then we are pushing all the columns at the back of it. That is how we are creating an array and passing it to a data frame. That is how we are moving the column. Cool, right? Okay. Okay, go through it and edit, clear output of all cells. And yeah, should be good to copy it. Let me know if there's any doubt. I'll be happy to resolve it. Let me know when it is done.
Can you scroll down? Done from my side.
Okay. Let me know. Done. Done. Great. Okay. Shall we move forward, or are there any questions? All right. Okay. Go ahead and move forward. And see, these are the concepts that we are learning right now. Going forward, we'll be building projects, we'll be doing a lot of things, then it will be more hands-on. Now, I would suggest you guys practice, maybe spend 10 to 15 minutes daily, go through function, maybe solve a few questions on Kaggle. That will help you. Okay, cool. Next, what we are going to learn, we are going to run melt and pivot. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, this is one of the important functions. Huh. Okay, so how it works, okay, think of it. Let's say there are, okay, I'll go ahead and show you with an example. Think of it, there is a column, this name, math, science, English. Now you want to melt it. Okay, it's a wide column, you want to make it long. You want to have math and science as part of your this thing, a row, as part of your column. So then melt will help you. Okay, let's go through documentation, how it works. Okay, when you want to do wide to long, if there's a table that is wide, if you want to make it long, and there are certain scenarios when you want to do such things, then melt is an option, then we can use. Okay. The melt method in Pandas is used to unpivot a data frame from wide format to a long format. In other format, it takes a column that represents different variables and combines them into key value pair, that is long format. Now, when you want to use melt, when you have a data frame where each row is an observation, each column represents different variable or measurement, and you want to reshape the data into a longer format for easier analysis or visualization. Okay, now this is the particular syntax. Okay, df.melt, data frame dot melt. These are the parameters it passes. Okay, ID of pairs, value of pairs. Okay, what is ID of pair? The column that you want to keep fixed. As you can see here, as you can see, name, I want to keep name fixed, but what I want to do, I want to put math, science, and English as part of my column in the name. Okay, then I want to create a new column which is score and subject and put the values there. Okay, get it? So how am I going to do it? The columns that you want to keep fixed, this column will remain as identifier column. So identifier column will not change. The column you want to unpivot, the ones you want to melt into a single column, those values will come here. Okay, the name to use for the new column. In our case, the name would be subject, and the value that we are going to put will be the other columns, and the value name, the name of the value for new column that contains the value from the melted columns, that is value. Okay, used for multi-level column data frames. Okay, that will check. What we are doing, there's a panda, there's a simple data frame. We're creating a data frame. when we are displaying, this is how it looks. Now we want to melt it. Okay. We don't want to change name. We want to change all this column. All this column should be math, science, and English, and they should be part of the new column, which is subject. Okay. And the value should be score. Whatever the value of this column was, would be put in score. Is this clear? Once you write it, it would be more clear. But right now, is it clear? Clear, right? Okay. Let's go through explanation. Why keep the name column as it is? Because it's the identifier. We want to keep it name as it is. Math, science, and English, these are the columns that we want to meld. Okay, then variable name subject, the new column containing the names of the subject. Variable name score, the new column containing the score, which is the value of all this column. Okay, we are creating a key value pair where subject will have all the key of the column and the value will be part of the score. Okay, why use meld? Helps in transforming data for statistical modeling and data visualization. There are maybe a scenario where you want to sort of run certain operations by expanding the table, then use meld. Okay, many times plotting functions or statistical models work better with a long format data. This is something we'll check later. I don't think today I would be able to cover matplotlib and seaborn. That's we'll do in next lecture. But going forward, we will be definitely using it. Okay, maybe just finish the melt part, and then later we can go ahead with pivot. I'll put this JSON in the chat. It is hard to remember a format in the first place. Just remember there is something called melt. Later syntax and everything you can always Google or chat GPT and understand. Sound right? Okay, cool. Is it done for you, Nishant? Okay, cool. Then we will go through pivot. Hmm. Now, if you want to pivot it, there's a long format table, you want to make it wide. Pivot is something that we use. Then there is a pivot, it's an index name. Then the columns, how to stop double clicking. Okay, then the df, I want to run a pivot on the name index, okay, on the column subject, and on the value score. Okay, the resulting data frame is that how it is happening. The unique value in the name column will be the rows in the new data frame. All the unique value in the column name will be rows in the data frame. Okay. Then the columns of subject. The unique value in the subject will be column value in the data frame. So in our subject, all the English maths signs were the values, were the rows, and that were the column in the data frame. And the value score from the column will populate the table. Whatever the score was left, it will create a pivot and it will populate it here. We are doing a reverse melt. Is that understandable? Sometimes it's also needed, you don't want to. It all depends on the data visualization. We'll see the real case scenario. Okay, why use pivot? Better data structure, it makes data easier to analyze when you have categories that you want to split into multiple columns. Easier visualization. As you can see, it is easy. I mean, it's easy to visualize here rather than on a large data. You want to perform aggregations like sum and mean, then performing pivoting does make sense. If you want to have multiple rows and index on the column, pivot will raise an error. In such case, you should use pivot table. Okay. If there's a duplicate table, suppose data frame is like this with duplicate entry, you can use pivot table and takes the mean of the duplicate entry. Okay. The value that is mean one, and then it creates a table. Okay. Aggregate function is the mean function. Okay. Remember, something like this exists. That's it. Going forward, we'll be using it. Okay, and how does this work? Okay, in this case, math score for Ali is averaged by 80 plus 82. If the cell is an empty, there is no way of the communication. Hmm. We'll go through the summary. Use melt to go long, use pivot to go wide. Okay, long, you want to expand the columns. If you want to expand, if you want to wide, use a pivot. Pivot is used to turn long format data into wide format by spreading the unique values in the column into separate columns. If there are duplicate values for a combination of index and column, you should use pivot table with an aggregate function to handle the duplicates. Okay, cool. There are no such example for pivot. Just remember, there are two functions, pivot and melt. If you want to make a wide a data long, use melt. You melt it, basically melt the columns. You want to do a pivot. If you want to pivot, you want to run certain functions. The pivot function is also available. Okay. Documentation is something that I'll share at the end of the lecture. So you'll have all the documentation. And let's move forward with the what's next. Aggregation and grouping. This is something important. Go ahead with aggregation and grouping. Okay. See, grouping and aggregation helps you summarize your data. Like what is the average salary per department? That is an example of grouping and aggregation. How many users joined the gym per month? So these are the questions that you want to answer. Let's say if you're running a gym membership and there are there are X amount of people are coming, but suddenly less people are coming. So how would you make sense of that data? You do a sum, you do a mean, you find out somehow, you run data manipulation and you see like in this 15 days, some people are coming. So then you come with an analysis that maybe during Ekadashi or let's say during Rosa times, certain customers are not coming. So that it's not my problem, it's their problem because of this festive season, they are not coming. And so you relax. And so you are understanding why we need data, why all of this is needed. At the end of the day, everybody wants to make money using all this data. Okay, then there is a group by function. TF.GroupBy function is a group of data frame used on values in one or more column, which allows you to perform aggregate functions like sum, mean, count, etc. on each group. Okay. We'll not go through documentation. That would be a bit boring. What we'll do, we'll quickly go through the code. Okay. Here is a panda. We are creating a data frame. The data frame is department. It has a team, gender, salary, age, and joining date. Okay. And when you run a data frame, this is what you get. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to get the mean of all the salaries by department. Data frame group by department. I want to check like which department earns what salary. Okay. And you run a mean function over it, and this is what you get. The average salary of, I think let's assume it is 1,000, is 87.5, IT is 81.5, marketing is 90. Yes. Okay. If you want to run an operation of a column, you run a group by and you group by and you run an aggregate function. Always, you my guys might have used SQL. So this is exactly how it happens in SQL as well. Okay. Now it's a type series because it is returning a single data frame. Now I also want to count, okay, group by department salary count. What exactly it does? Okay, in the group by of department, there's a department salary. And what does it of salary of count? Department. Okay, then HR has two. Okay, HR has two. Okay, got it. So number of values. So HR has two values here. Okay, why it is doing on salary, that we don't know, but you can even run it on, let's say, team. I think if you do it on team, how would that pan out? I think it will be same. We're same. So okay, HR. You're running group by on HR, and you're running a mean function on the salary. Okay. Similarly, okay, I'll just change it here because you guys will be copying it. Okay. Then again, we are grouping. Now we want to run aggregate function. We want to receive mean, max, and minimum. So we have all the details. In order to perform this, let's say using simple Python, you do have to write a lot of code. Okay, but it is single line of code. There is a team. The team is A. The average salary is this. For team A, the maximum salary is this. Minimum salary is this. How you run it? In order to run an aggregate function, you have to group by it over a column. So, okay. Similarly, okay. Similarly, here we go. Type is again data frame. The reason it is data frame, you can see it is returning a data frame. It is not returning a series anymore. Okay. Now again, now we want to run a what we want to run an aggregate function, but instead of mean, we want to name it as average score. Instead of max, we want to name it as high score. Okay. Now it is average score is this and high score is this. School. And we will go through another. We want to create a new column. It has to be group by salary and transform and get me the mean in the average, team average. Okay. So you do a def and you get the team average here. Okay. We run a transformation function and get the team average. Now you want to run a filter. Again, similar way we want to write it. There's df.group by on team. We want to run a filter where the salary is greater than 85. Okay, and we have all the details here. Cool. Seeing it for the first time, it will be overwhelming, but we have to keep practicing in order to understand. Okay, let's go to the documentation in case we miss anything. No, we did not. We did a group by function. Okay, then okay, group on multiple columns. Yeah, done. We're running aggregation on it. Group by transformation. We also run a filter. Let's go through the summary. Helps you summarize large data set by category. Use mean, sum, count, aggregate for custom metrics. Adds value back to original rows. Okay, and filter keeps only groups that meet the condition. Okay, I'll share this in the chat so that's easier for you to create the data. Okay, guys, let me know when it is done. Clear all the output.
Scroll.
Okay, so done from my side.
Okay. Nishant, done? Is it? I mean, is it done?
Last.
Okay, cool.
So I'm leaving right now.
Can you stay for 5 minutes? We'll finish it at 5 minutes, if that works for you.
Okay.
Cool? Okay. Okay, next we are going to work on merging and join. Let's say there are two different files, two different data sets, and you want to merge it on a point. It's similarly like performing operations on SQL. You merge two tables and perform operations. You perform left join, inner join, right join. That's exactly what we're going to do. And after that, we will be reading from CSV and Excel. So that maybe you can skip that part and just stay here for merging. Okay, I'll put it in a half window. Put it here.
Done.
Done, right? Okay, awesome. Cool. So next, what we are going to understand is merging and joining. Often data is split across multiple tables of file. Panda lets you combine them using just like SQL or even more flexibly. There are two data frame, employees and department. Okay, let's go ahead to the code. There is one data frame which is employees. There is what? Oh, PD is not defined. Oh, it's not defined anywhere. Cool. Import pandas as PD. Then this is how the employees data frame looks. Then you have departments PD.data frame. This is a department data frame. Now, as you can see, department ID is the foreign key. Here, to if you it has a relationship with departments. Like think of it as a relationship with department on department ID. Now this is how the departments work. What I want to do, I want to merge employees and departments on the department ID. This is how the inner join works. Okay. Now when I run it, it will be employee ID name, department, and department name. As you can see, department name is also part of the column and it is performing an inner join. Why is it performing an inner join? As you can see, 10, 20, 40 is there. 10, 20 is 30 is there, and it has only performed joiner 10 and 20. Get it? That is how it is. Then again, I want to perform a left join. All the elements from the left side. As you can see, all the elements from the left side, not all, and so 10, 20, 30, and it is not there because it's not present there. So it is empty, as you can see. Now I want to perform on right join. Now all the elements on the right side. Okay, as you can see, all the elements on the right side. There is HR, engineering, and marketing, but there is no such department here. So it will be empty on the right join. Now I want to do an outer join. So all the elements from everywhere, as you can see. So this 30 is empty, whereas all these elements are also as well as empty because we have performed an outer join. Okay. Now these are the merge functions. So think of it as certain SQL operations also we can do it. There were two data frames. We were able to merge it on a certain ID on a certain column, and then we were able to perform left join, outer join, inner join, right join, all the same data frame that we're talking about. Next, what we are going to do, we are going to see concatenating a data frame. If we go ahead, there is a data frame 1, list Bob with a score, Charles Bob, they have same column, same rows. Yeah, sorry, same structure. This is the df1, this is the data frame 2. And if I'm concatenating on df1 and df2, this is what I'm getting. There were two columns. Now I'm getting all the columns. Now, as you can see, the age is something different because see, the columns are not present there. There's a score column, there's an age column, but it is still going ahead and creating a concatenation. We can go ahead and add a mean here as a part of our data cleaning and make sure it is working. Depends on if you want to put an empty value or rather we want to make a pivot on the NaN value of the columns. We can also do that. That's all up to us. Now, next, we want to concate on column. So whenever you want to do it on column, you use x is equal to 1. In operation, you want to perform on column, x is equal to 1. You see name, score, name, age. This happened. Name, score, name, age. That is how it got concatenated. Again. And that is it. And cool. So this is where we are understanding how we are able to do merging, which is getting two data set and then joining them on an ID. And then how we want to concatenate data. Here, similarly, like we have concatenated strings in past, and that is how we are doing it. If you want to do it on a column, you part x is equal to 1. Okay, cool. Krish, you can leave if you want to. And Nishant, if you want to copy it, please go ahead and copy it.
Oh, it's okay, bye.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Krish.
Can you share the data set? Yeah.
What I'll do, I'll share the notebook. I think that would be better.
Okay.
See, all of this, I am pretty sure you are not going to remember it unless and until you practice. But
Yes.
you have to do it, and when going forward, we will be using all of them in building projects.
Merging is only performed when there is one column is common in
Yeah, you have to perform it on a certain column. If you're familiar with SQL, that is how it happens. You create a relationship to other column using a foreign key, and then you perform certain operation. DS Bootcamp, it is merging and joining. Merging and joining. Where is it? I can't see it. Yep, got it. Spelling was wrong. Shared the file on chat, and you can go through it. For the video, what I'll do, I'll put screen for a second here. Okay, anybody can pause and take a look at it. Then for a second here, you can take a pause and look at it. And then here, and a slow scroll. Okay, and we are good. Okay, now just the last part. There is no coding, we'll just go through documentation and then we are good to go. Now, how we work with the CSV. It is working with the CSV. Okay, you are already familiar how we can write through CSV. Okay, how we can read through CSV. This is how you use the read function. Now we want to output, write the output to the CSV. You use a toCSV function. Similarly, if you want to read from an Excel, there is a function available which is read Excel. If you want to read a particular sheet, this is the function you want to use. Okay. Then if you want to write to an Excel, then it will directly write all to the Excel. But there are certain scenarios when there are multiple sheets, use an Excel writer, which is part of Pandas data frame. And you want to write particular data frame to particular sheet, that is also possible. Okay, again, if you want to read to a JSON, there's a read JSON function available. And similarly, so I'll scroll through it. This is a Panda. This is how we read from database. This is exactly what we have done previously. We're filtering the data. This is how you filter it. Okay. Then if you want to write to CSV, if you want to set indexes to false, and you write all the data to CSV. If you don't need the index, usually when you're writing through CSV, the editor, they have the index. So you usually set the index to false, or else the index will also an extra column. Okay. Similarly, if you want to read from a JSON, sorry,
What will be the output of that? 7 lines.
output of
7
lines. No. Oh no, it will store to a file. It will be stored to a file, data updated.csv.
It will be a new
Okay.
file.
It will be a new file, yes. Whatever the file path you will give it, it will be the new file. Okay. Certain outputs, if you have a data frame, you want to present it to somebody, you do a toCSV. Again, if you want to read from a JSON, here is the syntax pd.readJSON and file path. Okay. Info, we are familiar, it's a very useful function. You get all the details that is needed. What we will do, there's a data. It's a JSON data. If you want to normalize the data, okay, I have to import PD. What I'll do run all cells. Oh, there's an error here. It's fine. Cool with it. df. Oh, some other data got populated.
Yeah, the file name.
Yeah, the file name with data.csv that we had, that got populated. That's fine. We don't need that. And we don't even have JSON. We want to check the JSON normalize. Data. And we get to data frame. This is how it is normalized. See, what is happening here? We are creating, there is an address, there's a city, and there's pin code. There's a key value pair inside a column. So when we are normalizing it, it is creating a separate column. Name is a column. Okay. Address.city is a different column. Address.zip code is a different column. When there is a nested JSON, if you want to normalize it, if you want to put it on a single level in a 2D level, use a JSON.normalize. This particular scenario is not possible in CSVs. You can't write things like this. So it is mostly possible in JSON. So JSON normalize is a function that is very useful. Okay, cool. And that is it. We sum up our lecture today. We went through many pandas function. And do you want to copy it or do you want me to share the notebook?
Yeah, that is.
I'll just share the notebook. Okay. Okay. We'll sum up the lecture. Thank you for your time, Nishant, and see you next week. Okay. Keep practicing. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.